Rachel, what do you call those things that I get the rice from? So, today I'm making beans and rice as a burrito. So I've got the tortillas that I made myself, and then beans from a can, refried beans, and then rice that I got from bulk bins at Sprouts. And then all I'm using to season it is just a little bit of paprika, garlic powder, and onion powder. And as you can see, they are all just organic, and the only thing in any of them is just exactly what it says. This has just water, salt, beans. It's pretty good for vegans. Some people will only use things that specifically say they're vegan. If that's your prerogative, that's fine, but it's a nice, simple, easy meal to make. So all I need is something to cook the rice in. It's a pan, and I like to use a plate actually to cover with so I can see through it and see when the rice is done. I'm using this cup to measure to make sure I put the right amount of water, and this because I just like to cook my tortilla a little bit. Alright, so take the rice, put it in the cup up to whatever set amount you want. So I'm cooking only for myself, so I don't need a whole lot of rice. But you might want to cook enough to like at least half a cup so that you can make an even amount of beans and rice for 1 can of beans. So I fill it to the line, put it in there, take some water, fill it to the same line, put it in there, and then some more water, almost to the same line, but not quite as much, because otherwise you'll start to get a little bit of, the rice will start to break apart if you have too much water in there. Alright, then I put some of the seasoning in there. My goodness. Do as much as I like. The paprika doesn't really do a whole lot for flavor, but it adds color, and I like color. I put about, well, I'm just shaking it out, but I put about a teaspoon of onion powder and about a teaspoon and a half of garlic powder. And then I put the plate on top. And then you're going to bring it on high on the oven, and then you're going to turn it down. So if you're working with an electric stove, I have gas obviously, but if you're working with electric, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to turn it to medium high until it boils, and then turn it down, because it takes a little longer for it to cool down obviously. But with the gas stove, you just turn it to high. As soon as it starts boiling, turn it down to low and let it simmer. And then while you're doing that, you can get the beans ready. So open it up. And then so the beans are already fully cooked. Some people will heat them up before they do anything with them. I don't really like to do that. All I'm doing is opening them and draining them. And that's it. That's all I'm going to do. I'm just going to use them as they are, spread them on there, and then put the rice on top. Now we have to wait for the rice to cook. So I don't know if you want to stop the cameras or start back up again. Alright, so once the rice is about done, you can go ahead and take the lid off. Don't burn yourself. I happen to have very callous hands. Don't touch things, you know, without proper care. Anyways, so it's about done. So I'm going to go ahead and turn the fire off. I got a spoon here. Make sure you just dig out the rice real quickly. You can tell the rice is done whenever it stops sending water up the walls. So it'll send water up the walls, up the walls, up the walls. When it stops doing that, it's just about done. You might have like a minute or two left to go. Then you take the tortilla, put it down there, put some of the, sorry about that, put some of the beans as a base down on the tortilla. I like a lot of beans. It's nice and simple. Smash them out right there on the tortilla. Then take some of the rice, put it on the tortilla as well. Fold it up. You want to make sure that you don't have the heat on so you don't burn yourself. Alright, then you take another one, fill it up the same way. The beans aren't heated up. Maybe you heated your beans up. But I'm going to turn this up and get a nice crisp going. On the burritos, it'll take about maybe a minute worth of cooking on each side. Minute and a half probably actually on the bottom side. Because the first side you cook, you want to be the bottom side so it sears the edges together. And then cook the other side. But it takes a little longer because you have both the layers on that side, then the other side you just have the one layer. So it's more like 2-ish minutes on the one side and then 1 minute on the other side. And you just go ahead and turn the heat all the way up. Obviously, you could have been getting the heat up under this one while you were getting it ready and probably not burned yourself if you had an electric stove. But again, don't burn yourself. You don't put oil in the pan because if you put oil in the pan, it actually won't cook the tortilla right. It might work out for corn tortillas. I would just stay away from it completely. So my tortillas actually are just flour, just a regular vegan flour that I use, and water. But you can find vegan ones if you want to. They're real easy to find. You just Google search them. They're all over the place. Usually, if you just get one that doesn't have enriched flour, most vegans would use that. Some vegans wouldn't, but I would. So I made these tortillas myself, like I said before, and the only thing that's in them is just flour and water. It's unenriched flour and water. They're fairly bland, but you can find your own vegan tortillas almost any grocery store. Alright, so now they're browned on the other side too, kind of actually blackened, but it's alright. So they look about like this. It's not too bad. So now I used the same plates that I had it covered with. Turn the fire off. Same plate that I had it covered with because it's just me here and that's how I'm going to eat it. This would make probably about 10 of these actually. They're 2 which would fill me up, so it's not so bad. So that's what I'm doing. I'm just going to go ahead and eat them. Alright, so now I'm just going to taste it, see what it tastes like. Tastes pretty good. So, feeds a few people, and nice and perfectly vegan. It prepares fast, it doesn't take that long. It might have taken me like half an hour, and I'm shooting a video, so it's not that hard. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the rest of it, I'm going to put it in Tupperware, put it away. Like, subscribe, comment, hate it, that's fine, as long as you let people know how much you hated it, so they'll go watch it, that's fine by me. Let me know what you think about it. Hated it, liked it, loved it. Some people might put salt in here. I should have put salt, forgot to. I want to say thanks to Patrick for helping me film this, and he's helping me edit it too. Rock on. Good guy.
Stay classy.
I'm hungry.